Dr. Mark Hitchcock welcoming you to another episode of Marking the Times. It's a beautiful day here in Edmond, Oklahoma today. It's cooler weather as the fall's arriving, and so God's just given us a gorgeous day here. And we just appreciate you following us on these Marking the Times episodes as we answer questions you all send in and just talk about things that are happening in our world today related to Bible prophecy. Again, if you have other questions that aren't related to prophecy, send those in as well. I love to talk about other things. The whole nation's kind of been gripped by these Kavanaugh hearings. The last few days, the Supreme Court nominee, it's been kind of all the news. But while all that's been going on, there's been a couple of other things kind of flying underneath the radar that I think are very important, certainly on a geopolitical scale. One of them is that a Russian plane was shot down in Syria by the Syrians accidentally. So it was a case of friendly fire. But there were a couple of Israeli jets in the area, and the Syrians were firing at the Israelis, but they hit the Russian plane. And so what this has caused is, there's an article I've got before me says, Syria accidentally shot down a Russian plane. Now Russia is giving Syria better missiles. So what Russia's doing is now they're giving these S-300 surface-to-air missiles to Syria to be able to use against Israeli planes as they make strikes there in Syria. And what a lot of people don't realize is Israel has had 200 strikes in Syria and this southern part of Lebanon since 2017. They've been striking Iranian targets there. A lot of them have been against Hezbollah, who's entrenched there in the area of Lebanon. But this friendly fire incident now has triggered Russia to give Syria these advanced missiles. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it much more difficult for Israel to go hit these targets there. And of course, Iran has been ratcheting up its rhetoric against Israel, saying that Israel is eventually going to pay for these attacks there. Israel has also said that Iran has missiles now in Beirut, in Lebanon. Not just rockets that aren't really easy to guide, but they have missiles there. And again, that's another step forward in what's happening. So, what you have over there is you have Russia, you have Iran and Syria, and Syrians there, obviously. And then you have Israel, all of them operating within this small area. And something's going to have to give fairly soon. I mean, there's going to be a spark that's inevitably going to set off something larger. One other thing I just wanted to mention, they had the 73rd session of the UN General Assembly in New York City this last week. And Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has stated there that Iran has a secret facility where they've been producing nuclear material, and they're hiding it there. And he made a really interesting statement. He said that this nuclear material is being spread around Tehran like Nutella. So they're taking this nuclear material and spreading it all over the place so it can't be detected or found. And he's calling upon the nuclear authorities to go in there and to inspect this and find out what's going on. And he called the leaders of Iran the tyrants of Tehran. But I just point all this out because a collision between these nations is inevitable. The tensions are continuing to ratchet up. And I see all of this that we see happening as a buildup to what the Bible predicts in Ezekiel 38. I read a fascinating article a couple of weeks ago where a man was predicting that there'll be a war between Israel and Iran in 2019. His point is it just can't keep going on any longer, that Israel's going to have to do something to confront the Iranian threat. Now, this man isn't a prophet. He's not a son of a prophet, and neither am I. But I think anyone who's reasonable and rational, who looks at what's happening, sees this has to at some point reach a point where it boils over. And again, will it be kind of a smaller scale event that will take place? Will it involve Iran, Hezbollah? Will the Palestinians in Gaza be involved in this? We don't know, but what we see happening there, again, with all these major players crammed into such a tight area, there's going to be a spark eventually that's going to set something off. And again, this is all building up, I think, to Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39. So we continue to watch that part of the world. I'll continue to bring you updates about it. But what we see happening there is alarming, but if we know Bible prophecy, it fits in exactly with what the Bible predicts.